Very much indeed. Budget Unplugged. The Chancellor speaks at about 11, and then we've got Budget Unplugged with Martin Stanford from about 12 o'clock here on Sky News. Here come your sports headlines. Jacqueline with the details.
I've had a lot of tweets about the budget from sporty people. They probably will be better off financially. But
and here's what you're having to say this morning through your tweets and your emails today. Charlotte, let's sum it up.
Yeah, it has been mainly taken up, I have to say, by this discussion about smoking and whether smoking in cars should be banned. Andy Morris says, banning smoking in your own car, how's that going to work? Has the world gone mad? Chris V in London says the UK's gone loopy. They always seem to target smokers for bans but never drinkers, and the effects of that kill far more people every year. Stephen McGee says fantastic idea to ban smoking in cars, especially when kids are in them and the kids don't ask to breathe in the fumes. Emma L just asks, how would you enforce that? Mavis in Andover isn't very impressed about the idea and says if the government tries to ban us smoking in our own car, we won't vote for them as we haven't got any children. Mike makes the point that don't forget children living at home with the smokers. Why not ban smoking at home as well? And more discussion on whether it's comparable to being on the phone in the car. Actually, Brian Edge says very little comparison between smoking while driving and using a mobile phone. It's the diversion of thought and concentration when you're on the phone, not the fact that you're steering with one hand. And Dave in Lincolnshire says he's not impressed with the idea of banning smoking in the car. He says there aren't many places left to smoke, and why shouldn't a passenger smoke provided it's OK with anyone else in the car? We've had loads on this morning, actually. Keep them coming in. It's a good talking point, and lots of different varieties of view, actually. Not everyone agreeing one way or the other.
I think it's like everything else. Initially, people are shocked, and then they probably get very used and they see the sense of it all. Dave Hart, thank you very much indeed for your tweet as well. Dave says on the subject of body scanners, he said, I bet that Jackie Beltrao would love a butcher's adieu him and going through one. How right you are, Dave. We're back to the headlines after this. After Charlotte with a roundup of what else is happening.
And the Chancellor is likely to have to make his way through striking workers as for the first time ever, hundreds of thousands of civil...
It could be worse, could be on a camel. That is a bad experience. Thank you, Charlotte. Front pages of the newspapers, here they come. Charlotte has those details.
Thanks, Eamon. And for the first time ever, hundreds of thousands of civil servants are on strike on budget.
We should say when we ask questions on international affairs, we mean politics.
Yeah, it does actually sound a bit mysterious, doesn't
Maybe it'd be nice to have more personal. Have you ever had an international affair?
You can ask, whatever you like, so you never know. But whether your question will get picked, if you do say, have you ever had an international affair? Perhaps not.
Maybe they should put us on the judging panel.
Do you think they should?
It would be. Thank you very much indeed, Charlotte. Now, if the look of that reminds you of something, and it's very spectacular and very grand, the co-executive producer, Tony Toe, is here. Should, Tony?
Yes, it's...
Airing manifest itself with this. I mean, you're what's called co-executive producer. Where do they slot in with all of this?
I think that...
You get, you get all the Battle of Britain, you get all these sort of big, massive war films that we know. Now, this is something new. We're going to play it Easter Monday. It's going to be on Sky Movie Premieres, the first 2 episodes. So, although it guys like me, no-brainer, right? That's my sort of TV. I'm going to be watching that. I wonder, are you in the market at all for Ordinary Housewives? I've just brought 2 along this morning. Miss Charlotte Hawkins and Miss Jacqueline Beltrao. Will there be anything in that for them? Any romance, for instance?
I think that, unlike Banner Brothers, we do have some home front stuff. And there are some important relationships. You know, with the Pacific, we get to explore what the cost of war is to the individual. So part of that cost is their relationships with women at home or women. There's an episode that we set in Melbourne where they spent 9 months. Episode, one of our main characters, Robert Leckie, has this relationship with this woman that's very important to him.
I don't mind him. I'm not an ordinary housewife. I love a good war film. But what I'd like to know is, do you really empathise with the characters? Because when I watch Hurt Locker, for example...
If it's a human truth, hopefully it will move you.
But Tony, how much can you do technically as well? I mean, I'm noticing here, we're seeing beach scenes and things here.
Right.
How much of that is CGI? How much have you been able to move on, even from Band of Brothers years?
Well, our philosophy is a little...
Damien Lewis in Band of Brothers, who's an Englishman. Yes. It's made him a big star. The 3 guys in this, are they unknowns at the moment?
They are unknowns, perhaps Joe Mazzella.
Well, look, listen, it sounds absolutely fantastic. The full story, the background, the actors and everything involved, it's in your Sky magazine, which Pacific, it is called. It is an epic. Sky Movies premiere, You can catch it. It's HD. Right, Jacqueline, sports-wise, what have you got?
Yeah, England.
What do you want to do, budget or smoking?
Well, actually, I've got to do some budget quickly. Lee West says it'll be a waste of time. Everything will go up to help claw back the deficit. Keith says it'll be the same as every other. It'll be giving with one hand and taking with the other. A couple of quick ones on scanners, actually. Saeed says simply have a policy in place to have female scan female and male scan male. And Brian says those of us with experience and eyesight are perfectly capable of undressing any woman with imagination, and we do a better job of it than any scanner does. So that's a nice thought to leave us with.
Mr. Spin, this is airport scanners we're talking about, Tony, so just in case you're wondering what we're on about there. Thank you all very much indeed. It is Budget Day. Keep it here on Sky News throughout the day. Live desk with Colin Brazier coming up, and that leads the morning. We'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.